Hey, welcome back to HTV, where I have become your most fashionable and successful self. Now, I know we live in difficult time these days, which is why I've created the Ease Your Life segment. And today we have a special guest with us, which is Becca Rich, who is a holistic time coach. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, Becca, and having the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited to speak with you today.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, so first questions first. Tell us a little bit of your background, so then actually I
Yeah.
know where you're coming from.
Yeah, of course. So, I like to tell the story way back. So, I grew up with parents who were workaholics and worked all the time, weren't really there emotionally, and I was a really sensitive girl and lots of emotions, all the things, and really empathetic. And so, I had my worth tied up in all of my achievements. And so, I went to college. I started engineering, and my first semester in college, I got an intestine infection because I was like working so hard. And I got really sick. I went to the hospital, and I was actually, a friend had to drag me to the hospital because I was trying to meet a deadline. And I was
Oh.
in the hospital worried about this deadline, trying to work on this deadline that I had to submit a project.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I had this moment of like, oh my God, my worth, like I didn't feel like I was good enough,
Mm-hmm.
if I couldn't get these projects. It was always the next thing. I was always worried. I was always stressed. And I didn't take great care of myself. And so that incident like spurred a whole new half of me. And so throughout the last 8 years of my life, I finished engineering. I started working 9 to 5, like engineering type job right out of college. And
Wow.
um, throughout that, I became a yoga teacher. I became a Reiki healer, energy healer,
Wow.
meditation teacher, all those things. I got super into like holistic alternative ways of healing and
Mhm.
getting to know yourself. And so I, over the last year, I have really taken a step more visibly with like my strengths and all of that. And I really wanted to start my own business teaching yoga online, which is really funny because right now yoga is like blowing up online.
Yes.
But so it didn't click for me because I realized I was missing half of my brain. I was missing that engineering, structural, like organized thinker brain,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
I wanted to figure out what I could do that combine the holistic healing, yoga, like that kind of stuff with the engineering.
Yeah.
So I went and I worked with clients, and I realized after a year of working with clients that I had helped them find time for yoga and find time for themselves and find time for, someone said to me one day, why aren't you a time management coach? Like what, like why are you a yoga teacher? You're not actually teaching me yoga, you're helping me find time for it. um
Okay.
so yeah, like that was the moment that everything just kind of like snapped into place. It clicked.
Mm.
I became a time management coach. I went and got certified. And since then it's been a wild ride. Like I everything it's so wild once you find that thing um that you are supposed to be working on and
Yeah.
doing. It's just everything snaps into place. So that's my story, wrapped up in a little bow.
That's amazing, Rebecca. So, okay, so you said that. But how do you find time then? How do you find time?
To find time, that's such an interesting question because
It can be as philosophical as you want. It's fine.
yeah, well, I think I want to bring it to a question that I recently got, which was, what's the difference between existing and living, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so for me, existing is reacting and not being in control of time, like not being in control
Okay.
of my day, not being in control of my life,
Mm-hmm.
just like doing whatever is in front of me and
Mm-hmm.
not looking forward. And so for me, living on the flip side, right, is finding a balance between external and internal forces,
Mm-hmm.
and um, doing what I have to do to a certain extent, and then giving myself time to rest, giving myself time to go inwards, to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And so time is something that allows me to live
Okay. That's
instead of
interesting.
exist. When people are existing, they don't have a really
They.
intentional
Yeah.
concept of time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're living, you're in relationship with time, you're in relationship with yourself. And so, yeah, I would say like I would define time as a tool to be intentional and to find balance.
That's amazing. So, can you like go back a bit and then tell us the difference or how did you become a coach? Because you're an engineer by profession. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that come up to be?
So in college, I mean, I've always taking it super way back again, childhood. Like I
Yeah.
was always a teacher.
Yeah.
I like hoarded school supplies, and me and my like childhood best friends would like play school,
Yeah.
and like just clean the house for fun. Like what? It's so funny thinking back to that. And so yeah, I feel like it's always been in my blood. And then like entrepreneurial has always been in my blood. My dad started his business when he was 14 years old,
Oh, okay.
mowing yards, mowing lawns, and now he has a very successful business. And my grandpa owns a business. Everyone in my life is like business owners, and so I've always been the person that like has a million bajillion ideas and like want to solve problems. And so that's just been in my blood. And then when I went to become an engineer in college, I was like vice president of all the organizations, or president, or like all of the leadership roles. And so I've always been in that place of leadership, and I did so much like um, leadership training, and all of those things are qualities that a coach should have, right, to
Yeah.
be a good leader. And so those are just natural to me. And then when I went and became certified, it kind of just like gives me the rubber stamp in a way.
Yeah, I understand.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So have you coached? Have you started coaching or not yet?
Yeah, I started coaching. I have a few clients right now. I'm opening up for like two right now, and for this next like I do 3-month packages with people. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of in that like testing phase of figuring out what people want, what people need, and how to best support them. So I'm still getting my bearings on all of it, and it's super fun. I absolutely love it. I love talking to people and helping them get intentional with their time, find
Yes.
balance, and get focused, do like create a life that they want to create, you know?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can they find you, Becca?
Yeah. So I also want to add something
Yeah, sure.
because
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So when we connected,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of mentioned like having one thing for your listeners. So I was thinking about it, and
Yeah.
right now, to decrease stress and decrease anxiety, and maybe get some focus, maybe get some motivation.
Mm-hmm.
One tool that I kind of want to just leave everybody with really
Yeah.
fast is that it's called a have done list. So instead of a to-do list,
Oh,
I teach my clients to have done lists. So it's a
wow.
list of everything that you've done in a day, and this can range from watching Netflix. It could range from eating lunch. It could be stuff for your business, or your work, or whatever you're working on. It could be having a really good conversation with a friend. Like
Mm-hmm.
it could be anything. But the whole point of it is for you. Our brains like to forget all the amazing hard work that we do, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
so these lists are really a great visual for people that love looking at things, love visuals, to feel fulfilled and to feel accomplished. And all of the clients and people that I've told this to recently absolutely love it. And it's helped them get
To feel
momentum,
better, to feel better
to
about
feel
themselves.
better
Yeah.
inside.
Yes.
it helps you get whatever you want done. Our brains want
Striving for more.
positive reinforcement.
Yes.
It wants to be told it's done a good job. So yeah, I would say like that one thing, if you're like feeling unfulfilled, if you have a hard time with feeling unproductive, that was the biggest thing for me, is like, I don't feel like I did enough at the end of the day, therefore I can't relax, right? So instead of letting yourself feel unproductive, just keep a running list of the things that you've done. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing. That's amazing, Becca.
it's magic.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I love what he did.
Yeah.
Actually, I love what he did. Like in the beginning, when I was nervous of starting this interview, I was like, no, just calm down, just breathe, breathe with me, breathe in
Yep.
breath. I love that. That was so that,
Three big deep breaths, and I'd start that every single client that I work with, or anyone that I talk to on video camera, if I can, I'm like, hey, let's take 3 breaths together, like, let's just do it.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can they find you, Becca? If you want,
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So right now, I'm actually starting a YouTube channel, which I'm really excited about. That'll be coming
Yay!
out in the next like few
Yay!
weeks.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm
Amazing.
excited about that. But right now, you can come to my Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Becca Rich Wellness,
Cool.
and I have a website, Facebook, all the things. But I love talking to people one-on-one, so feel free to like find me on Instagram and DM me. Love to have conversations with people.
Perfect. I'll actually put the link in the description below if anyone wants to like get in touch with you. She's amazing. I love her. So that's it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let me just end it up right here. And I'll say thank you so much for tuning in with us. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.